So here's the thing: the family is at an all-time low, but so was the show. And they have revamped and pulled the show together. Let's see if they can take and revamp and pull the family back together. This one should be a no-brainer. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking in to the video. This is going to be my review for season 1, episode 2 of the Braxtons. This is the whole revamping and all that of the show. I told you in the first episode that I'm loving this. I'm loving the new look of it, the new feel of it. Very grown up, very serious. Um, yeah, the family is at an all-time low. Let me just go on into it. We started off where they've agreed to do grief counseling. The grief counselor's name is Spirit, which later on I figured out I'm like, probably the perfect person to actually do this. And I totally believe, I always believe that God actually puts certain people in your path. I believe that Spirit was put there for a specific reason. They could have had anybody. They could have had anybody who we've seen do reality TV counseling that just ain't about nothing. They about television. For some reason, something in my spirit tells me that Miss Spirit is the perfect person to get what the Braxtons actually need. And I'll talk about her a little bit more later. Everybody's there: Daddy, Mommy, little Kevin, all the girls. They're all there. Everybody showed up. Let's just kind of go through some of what's going on. Like I said, when we left off in the first episode, they were there at the counseling session, and basically nobody was ready to talk. Trina is the one who actually got Spirit to come. And Trina, she was going to start with Trina. And she said, well, can I not go first? Can I not go first? And they're like, that's fine. It's okay, but, what we're going to do? What we're going to do? We did find out that they all have a different way, which is very true when it comes to grief. Everybody has a different way of dealing with grief. Some people actually just, it's a natural thing for them. Some people actually really need some help finding out what is their best way to deal with grief, and may need a little bit of help and that kind of thing. And Spirit was so quick to be able to pick up on that and kind of know she know her stuff, who needs kind of what. Because something that was really revealed, Trina's situation is out of pocket. Okay. Her shit is out of pocket. So they zoom right in. And when she finally did talk, I said, baby, you show all in your own. You really got some heavy shit on you, sis. Really heavy. But Mommy, Miss Evelyn, she says basically, which is so much like my situation, her and Towanda, I identified a lot with the way they handle their stuff and how things work in their life. Ms. Evelyn was saying, she said Tracy comes to her. She said she comes to her and talks to her, a lot of times. So she's able to really deal, because again, of course, her situation would be something really different than everybody else's because she is her mother. She's not her sister. Sisters, that's bad enough. But she is her mother. No mother or father wants to bury a child. That in itself is just too much. The lay of the land is kind of it's supposed to be the parents go and the children grieve the parents, not the other way around. But our world is something vicious. See, there's been a shift in this world. This world is different than it was 50 years ago when I got here. I'm 52. This world is nothing like what it was when I was a little kid. Nothing. I mean, there were evil people. There were, mean people. There was people that was fucked up, but the world itself, it wasn't like this. When you look at the world back in the 70s, I'm born in 72. You look at the world in 75. 75 and 2024, it like two different places. And I'm not just talking about the buildings and things looking upgraded. It's two different places. It's in some things, the way things have changed, it really does seem wicked. It seems wicked. You know what I mean? Just little things like you hear all the time, cliches. It takes a village to raise a child. It does. It's always taken a village to raise a child. It's always been a community that brings a person up. When a person gets famous, you always hear them talk about this community that they grew. A black person, because I can only speak for black people because I ain't never been white. So I can only speak for black people and black community. The community raised the children. Everybody kept an eye on everybody else's children, whether you wanted them to or not. Now, was everybody good? No, everybody wasn't good. But back then, there was a trust that people had that they don't have now. Now, it works on some things and not on others, okay? But we got so far away from it. Now, this shit is wicked. This shit is, this is something totally different. Everybody is stranger danger. Everybody. And I'm talking about your cousins, your uncles, your aunties, people, everybody's stranger danger. You don't just outwardly just trust nobody with your kids, or you a damn fool. And you hearing it from me. If you just blindly trust anybody with your kids, you're a damn fool. This world is wicked. It is wicked. And yes, some of the things that happened happened back in the day too. But again, the community wasn't what it is now. There's a lot of things about your money situations and finances, drugs. There was drugs back then. But people had different type of integrity about. Even the junkies had some integrity back in the day. Even a junkie in the ghetto paid attention to the children. A raggedy ass junkie would tell you, get your ass off that corner. You know better than that. And you listen to them because you knew that junkie. These kids now, they know the junkie, but the kid might be the one that sold the damn junkie to smack. Tell them to kiss their ass and all kind of good stuff. It's the kids is different, the people's different, folks is wicked. So that whole thing, now all that is a cliche because you don't trust your neighbors with your damn kids. Some values will never go away with me. When I moved into this house, I've been in this house, it's going on 4 years. This is a different neighborhood than what I grew up in. I live on the east side of my town. I grew up on the north side of my town. There's not a bunch of kids in my neighborhood. But there is a school bus that actually stops right there in front of my house. So when I first moved here, of course, I love the little people. Okay. I made certain that everybody was aware of who I was, that they got used to seeing me. So because that was what was natural to me. Because if the bus, like there's there's no kids really in the neighborhood. Like, you don't just see kids walking up and down my street. So if by chance that bus comes early or comes late, or the parents are late, or something, running late to pick their kids up, it just seemed like a natural thing for me to make sure that the kids and their parents are aware of who I am and feel comfortable and know that somebody is looking out till you actually get here. That is what is actually natural for me. So that's just how I present, because that's how I grew up. And I think that's the way things are supposed to be. I don't, you know, everybody, you need all eyes on deck when it comes to the kids. Because it just is what it is. These goddamn people are wicked. They are wicked. Male and female. Male and female. Heterosexual, homosexual, trisexual, bisexual, whatever. There are wicked people. So if you got one or two good ones in there, we need them. We need them. We need them to have their eye on the kids. Shit. So, but that whole thing. How did I even get here? How did I get here? Oh my God, I got here. I got here on my soapbox. Okay, boom, that's it. The world has changed. The world has changed. I was talking about Miss Evelyn. Okay, so that's Miss Evelyn's whole thing with Tracy. She actually prayed for Tracy to go. Says she prayed for Tracy to go. Yes, I was talking about Miss Evelyn and how hard it was for the parent to be watching the child go and having to grieve the child. That's how I got it. Lord knows I was like, how the hell I get here? But that's what I do. Welcome to SpillitBoyTV. That's what I do. I may go off, y'all. Child, if you don't know me, the ones of y'all who know me, y'all know. But you all who are new to me, shit, I'm old. I'm old bitch, and I just will go. I'll go left on you. Just come with me. Just ride with me. And eventually I'll bring it on back and roll it on down, get off my soapbox, but don't boom, boom, bam it. We'll be back. But baby, I will go left. I will go left. Anyway, so she said, she said, I hate to say it, and people may not get it, but I prayed for her to go because she knew the struggle that Tracy was. She was watching her baby die, is what was happening. She was watching her die of cancer, and it ain't nothing nice. It ain't nothing nice. You all see, I did chronicle some of my cancer battle. I never showed y'all that stuff. If it got too deep, I didn't show that because my message was about early detection. I chose what part of my message I wanted to share. Early detection is why I'm actually still here, because I found out about my stuff and I didn't play around. I moved on it. And that's not all of why I'm here. I'm here because God chose to. I asked, and he showed up and he delivered. I said, you listen, I made my peace, and I asked, said, I ain't ready to go. But thy will be done. If you say it's time to go, I'm going to go. And I've had a good run at it. I was 43. I had a good run at it. I have no complaints. No complaints. There's been times, sometimes it was hard, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes it was really, really groovy. He said, stay on there and continue what you're doing with your crazy self. And I said, okay. And I said, trust me, this next run going to be bang up, honey. So, but yeah. So, yeah, and Miss Evelyn was like, she's saying it. It really is no joke. The cancer thing, I'm telling you, if anything looks out of place, you see a lump on yourself, you don't feel well, things just, you always keep finding yourself tired and different things like that, your body just don't feel, you'll feel differences in your body. Don't ignore them, especially if you're up in this area in these big ages, in these 40s and carrying on. And it happens to younger people too. It will walk you up out of here. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. And I know it's scary. It is very scary. The unknown is always scary. Go see about yourself. Anyway, moving on. Towanda. Towanda. So here's when we ended up getting Miss Evelyn gave her stuff. Then we get to Trina, and we figure out how much Trina is completely messed up, y'all. Completely messed up. Towanda, Trina started. She said Towanda told me no. She told me I was not strong enough, and I was mad at her, and I didn't listen to her. But I thought I was strong enough to actually be able to take it and watch as Tracy took her last breath, and she said, but I was not strong enough. And she's already admitted that is the first big step in her getting what she needs, and she needs something. I felt so bad for Trina. Oh my God. I felt so bad for her. She literally basically diagnosed herself. What she said, this is why I do all this eating and I do all this drinking. She's like, and if that's what I need is the grease and the calories and the liquid. If that's what I need at that time, then that's what Trina needs. God damn it. And it is what it is. She said, I eat my grief up. I eat mine. I eat yours. I eat yours. She's always like, she makes jokes, but she was serious as a heart attack. And she said, that's what, because she has gained weight and all of that. And she said, I do it. This is what I do. And she said, I eat and I drink. And she said, I don't want to be alone with that dark. I don't want to be alone. That's what she said. I don't sleep. I don't sleep. She said, I literally, like she basically goes till she just passes out. But the thing is, she running away from closing her. She said, when I close my eyes, I see her in that kimono. And it's all like very vivid for her. When she closed her eyes, she said, I can't do the silence of it. I just can't do it. She says, well, when I go to sleep, I have the TV on because I just can't be alone in that silence, because she said, I see her every night. I just can't do it. And she's stuck there. And that's when she said, you're not just suffering with grief. You are suffering with PTSD. You're literally suffering with PTSD. You are suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder due to that situation. That situation is not just the death and the grief. She is literally stuck in that whole traumatic experience of watching your sister roll up out of here. That's what she said. That darkness and being alone with that grief, I just can't do it. I can't do it. And Spirit told her, baby, I got you. I got you. We're going to get you the help that you need to walk you right up out of that. But that's what I was like, that spirit is bad, baby. That spirit is on it. She was on it. She really, she didn't blow off nothing. She said she was so tuned in to what she was saying. She's so tuned in to Miss Evelyn when she was talking. Then Towanda shared her stuff. She basically, another piece of kind of how my stuff goes. She said, I feel like she's still here. I feels like she's still here. It's like I can talk to her when I want to, and this, that, thing, and the other. And that's just how, listen, I tell y'all all the time, you'll always hear me talk about my grandmother. My grandmother is around me more now that she's gone and has transitioned than whenever she was around. Because, toward the later part, I've grown. I didn't see my grandmother every day and stuff. I grew up in the house with my grandmother. I grew up in the house with my grandma. I left my mother's and went to stay with my grandmother because I loved my grandmother and I always wanted to be up underneath my grandmother. I didn't have trauma with my mother and I was like, I had to leave and go be with my grandmother, or I wasn't dropped off. No, baby, I made a conscious decision. I said, girl, I'm out of here, honey. And I went to be with that lady, honey. I love my mother. Trust me when I say I love Miss Patty, honey. But Miss Thelma, my favorite girl to ever walk this planet, honey. Do you understand? Don't get it twisted. My Nana, honey, we fight like cats and dogs, and nobody understands it but me and her, and nobody better not say a damn thing about me and my grandmother knocking heads, honey. My favorite person to ever walk this planet, honey. She understood me and my bullshit, and I understood her and her bullshit. But yeah, and my mother, child, my mother, that's a whole nother situation. I ain't got no problems with my mama. I had a really good mother. I have a really good mother, child. Ain't nothing that I got that she can't get. Trust. Trust. But she ain't got nothing for her mother. She ain't got shit for my nana. Honey, my nana's that girl, honey. But and I do. I feel her around me all the time. Child talks to her, and we be having rolling conversations. Child, listen, she comes, she be rolling all up through here, honey. Folks say my house is haunted. Yeah, Miss Thelma, she be hanging out, honey. Trust. Anyway, so Towanda and Miss Evelyn, I definitely identified with what it is that they were saying, and they're peaceful. They're really, and Tawanda's really at peace. Now I don't know if something else is going to reveal, but she's really at peace. Um, Tony, Tony's struggling. Like I said, Tony's whole thing, she's having some survivor's remorse for the most part. And then that whole thing of putting her sisters first. She's still struggling, and she always has with this putting her sisters first. And she doesn't feel like she really had the chance to actually really grieve the way she needs to because she's worried about her sisters. She's worried about her sisters. And they told her, yeah, you need to work on that. Because she said, I even put my sisters, she said, I feel like I had to really work on, I put my sisters before my own children. She said, that's what I was taught. That's what I do. I'm oldest, and that's what I've been raised to do. And I'm like, good, but not good all at the same time. That scarred you, Then you got Kevin. And they said, well, let's check on Daddy and check on Kevin and how they feeling about what's going on and what's happening. Child, and all as that's going on, Kevin saying, no, I'm really not good. He's feeling alone. He's feeling alone. Again, basically an only child of Tracy's and, the wife situation. And then the next thing you know, as we're on there, we're starting to hear some ruckus in the background. Child, it's the police. Right while they're doing this, the police then pulled up on Kevin, honey, and he's being served. He has a warrant. So they actually end everything, pull everything back, and they're like, just hold on a minute, hold on. Towanda knows something about what's kind of going on, but the rest of them don't really know. Tamar is actually really like an outsider at this time, but she wasn't Tamaring. She was just kind of there, and she's like looking, and you can see she really didn't know. Her sisters were going through what they were going through because they ain't been around each other. And she's like, I'm sorry. And she's breaking down at certain points like, oh my God, like she didn't know her sisters were going through this. And that tells you a lot of the separation of the sisters. Nobody don't know what the other one going through. Y'all just going through. That's the whole purpose of having siblings. If you can't love on them or even just hate on them up close and personal, what is the purpose of them? You know what I mean? Ain't nothing like a sibling. It just is what it is, because when the parents leave up out of here, I don't give a damn how many friends you got. Only person that know how you feel is your sibling. Period. If you ain't got none, you all alone. Believe it. Anyway, so they go through all of that. The stuff's going on with Kevin. They stop their session. Daddy falls off of the call. Because he was just saying basically he didn't really get to say too much about how he felt. He was just saying, I'm just trying to watch and trying to see how I can support. That's old school, an old school man. He ain't even trying to touch on his feelings. I just need to know how I'm gonna help my feelings, help my family. And that's an old school man. That's that generation before me. That's that. So that didn't surprise me. He didn't get into, too much of what he was going through, but his situation, I'm sure, is just as bad as Miss Evelyn's. But he's worried about them and making sure they good. That's how those old men were. Even if man wasn't shit, that's just how men in that generation kind of function. And they're not really all that in touch with their feelings, and they will suppress they will suppress. That's why a lot of them didn't live long. A lot of them didn't live long because they suppress every goddamn thing. Heart attacks aplenty. Anyway, so when the stuff goes down with Kevin, there's a warrant for his arrest. We couldn't get to the bottom of what it was, but we found out that Towanda knew about it. Okay. Tamar took that opportunity to Tamar. I said, oh shit, man, Tamar. She's like, y'all got so many secrets, child. I just cannot, child. Y'all on my nerves. They got so many secrets that they're on your nerves. Not the time. Not even the right statement. First of all, who the hell are you? That you think that you need to know everything going on with everybody. But obviously, you don't even deal with everybody. So, like, what are you even talking about? Something is getting on your nerves. Somebody's over there being arrested. Going on down to the Hooskow. Going down there to Mrs. Furthington's finishing school for girls. And you talking about it's getting on your nerves because somebody ain't told you. Who the hell are you, you damn fool? I said, oh, here she goes. Here she goes. Me. Then she goes, they say, okay, well, tell us what's going on. Now they try to kind of go back into the session. Tell us what's going on. Tell me. Well, I just, I'm just here. I already have gone through grief counseling and I really don't need it. I just came because of my sisters. Because that's why I said, well, why'd she even come? If you don't have nothing better than this, because she was really giving off of, well, what was y'all? Shit, I hadn't already did what I needed to do. I just came because y'all fucked up. Why are you here? Why are you here? Which is most of the time, why are you here? Why are you here? And that's when you kind of got to find out, ain't nobody fooling with her, really. They have grown so tired of Tamar and her Tamarisms that even her sisters, that they just ain't really been fooling with her like that. And that's what it actually came across. I said, well, damn, you on the outside. You try to paint the picture. See, this is what happens. You try to paint the picture like you was the black sheep, and you done messed around and made yourself the black sheep. See, something really happened in the family. One of the sisters died, which is a big situation. And none of that bullshit that you do will outweigh that situation. And you ended up slipping through the cracks. And you have actually become the outside of the situation. You the baby, but don't nobody give a damn right now because don't nobody got time for that. And you done messed around and found yourself on the outside and you mad about it. You mad about it. Who cares? Who cares, ma'am? Who cares? Nobody. And it went to this whole thing, and they were saying, how does it feel that you don't have access to your sisters? And then it was this exchange between Towanda and Tamar. And Trina is like, no, I'm the one, because Trina keeps in contact with her. Tony will turn them all off for the most part to get her mental health together. But the Towanda thing, Towanda used to try to please and make sure. Towanda got her own thing going on. Towanda, you could see it, like she was saying, didn't I call you? Didn't I? She's like, listen, this is what I don't do. I'm not begging. I'm not begging to be a part of your world. I'm not. And then Tamar trying to give that back. And Tawanda's like, no, it ain't even that. You played and played and played, and now I don't even fool with it. I don't run up behind you. I just don't fool with it. I get to you when I get to you. But no, I'm not going to let you play victim. And that's why I said, Towanda literally She basically told, I don't entertain her any longer. I don't entertain her. All that extra shit she be doing, all that up and down, and you got to chase Tamar down and to appease her to be have access to her. I don't entertain her. I get it because I would have stopped entertaining her years ago. Years ago. I would have stopped entertaining you, Tamar, back on the first nose. Psh, catch. Anyway, I said, I get it. I said, that's sad, though. That's really sad. But Towanda got a different type of piece going on. I said, wow. And all while she was talking, Tamar was doing the Tamar. She's doing the TV stuff. She laughing and playing victim and trying to gaslight her, and it wasn't working. Towanda was not budging off her square. I said, girl, you ought to feel bad about yourself because you look a damn fool right now trying to gaslight your sister where really and truly you are hurt. You are totally hurt at the fact that your sister said, and you know it. And you know it. But you still want to try to play these Hollywood games. Girl, you need to quit. You need to quit. Then the next thing you know, mommy go off. Miss Evelyn had enough. She said, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. She's going to go off. She had this cup of something, coffee or something. And I said, look at Miss Evelyn. Now, you done became Hollywood too. Child, Trina's trying to get the cup. She going to say, yeah, don't get it on my clothes. In the midst of snapping out. I said, no, Miss Evelyn. We caught that, Miss Evelyn. I said, girl, you didn't went a little Hollywood too, sis. But yeah, she told him, I'm tired. Y'all argue amongst yourself. I can't do it no more. It's too much. I done lost a child. And y'all arguing like children. No, that's that same one you got. That same one. Child. Anyway, that's Janice, as usual. Anyhow, she walked off and everything. So this is what I was saying about Spirit, where I was like digging Spirit. When it got too tough and it got too deep, Spirit, I was so impressed with her because this is where we kind of broke out at. This is where we kind of ended. So I'm going to end this talking about Spirit a little bit. Spirit was excellent. She's excellent, excellent grief counselor. When things got rough and it was messy as hell as a family, she didn't judge. She didn't push anybody to go deeper than they chose to go. She literally disconnected when it got embarrassing and it got too personal. The stuff with little Kevin, she completely disconnected. And she basically blended in with the backdrop. Like, this is family shit right now. This ain't part of this. This is some shit that I should have never even been privy to. She literally disconnected herself and kind of went back into her own bubble. And it was like easy for them to just even forget that she was even there. Because that could have been very embarrassing. I'm sure it was very embarrassing. One of your family members getting ready to go to jail right there live. And they were talking about it, saying, a little bit that they felt like somebody actually set him up. Somebody set him up and turned the cops to it. Like, I know he's going to be here, go serve him, this, that, and the other. Could have. I hope it wasn't WeTV. Now, I've been giving y'all kudos. I hope it wasn't WeTV, honey, that set him up to be. That wasn't for the cameras, was it? We'll be watching. So if it was, I'll drag WeTV later. I will. But anyway, I just felt like Spears. She's just the perfect person for them. I think she's a good fit. And they said, yeah, we need to see her again. Tamar, girl, don't come. Stay mad. Don't come. You got somebody to work you through your grief. Get somebody to work you through your bullshit. Do that. But they can't get nowhere with your foolishness. And I think they're over all of what you used to give. Be glad they didn't throw you away with the old title. And on that, I'm going to end this here. Woo! Tamar. Anyway, this is episode 2. Y'all want to get into this, Braxtons? This is different. Little different than that family values. I think they learned some things from family values and they move it a little different. And I think they're gonna get better results. And I'm gonna be watching. I'll catch y'all later. See you in the next episode. Bye, y'all.